Hi, everyone. I'm Zaji Reyes. I'm part of the ecosystem team here at Chainlink Labs, and I'm stoked to talk about money Legos. So I'll go ahead and have each of our panelists please introduce themselves, talk about a little bit about how your project is taking advantage of composability and the Chainlink's play and role within your project's functionality. So let's go ahead and start with Guillaume.
Hi everyone, thanks for having me. So I'm the co-founder of HTMPH. We are offering fixed rate yield on stablecoin and crypto on Ethereum. And we are leveraging Chainlink technology with the Keeper to update our on-chain interest rate oracles.
Awesome. Jinyun.
Yes, my name is Jinyun and I'm a CEO of Superblock in South Korea, and mainly we are building a mainnet, but we also making some of the DeFi projects. And one of the DeFi project is named Cushion Finance. And Cushion Finance is a synthetic asset protocol that provides people with opportunities to hedge or speculate of kimchi premium in Korea. And to implement it, we use Chainlink Oracle to get two price feeds. One is the exchange rate of Korean won and Bitcoin, and one is the exchange rate of Korean won and US dollar. And as a result, we can mint two assets for Korean won and make a marketplace for people to exchange those identical but assets with different prices. And people can bet for kimchi premium by buying or selling those Korean ones. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, thank you for explaining that. We'll go ahead and go with James as well.
Hey everyone, this is James Song, Head of the Business Development at Fleta. And we are a mainnet platform and we launched our mainnet in 2019. And we have worked on mainly to make more use cases in our ecosystem. And one of the key ecosystem partner would be DeFi partners. So we have launched a DeFi service called Fleta Connect, and we are using a Chainlink Oracle to make sure that we are giving out the rewards based on the right data, not only just focusing on centralized data. So, and also we do have cross-chain technology to interact with other platforms. So we have launched on BSC, but we'll soon be launching on Polygon. And at the end, we'll be launching our own mainnet-based AMM DEX as well. So more roadmaps are coming. So yeah, stay tuned.
Yeah, let's definitely dive into some cross-chain chat in a bit. Betty, Akala, we'd love to hear more.
Yeah, thanks for having me here. This is Betty, co-founder from Akala. So we are a specialized DeFi blockchain built on top of Polkadot with EVM compatibility. With specialization, we have primitive that's built on top of the platform with stablecoin, various different type of DEX, and also liquid staking. So that's a new thing that on this platform. And then we have multiple cross-chain assets with ETH, BTC, ERC20, but also new asset classes like DOT and Liquid DOT with yield-bearing offering to developers and dApps built on top of us. When we integrate with Chainlink, there are excitements like new innovations that we bring in for Chainlink users. So for example, we have quality of service for Chainlink price feed. So when Chainlink feeds into our network, it is a system transaction. So you will never get into a situation of network congestion and you cannot read the latest price feed. So that's not possible on our network. And then another thing is we customize our fee structure. So transaction fees, if you really want, can be paid in a link token. So I'll stop there, but I'm sure we're going to discuss more later on.
Yeah, no, that's a great hint at what's to come and really interesting, all of the work that you're doing. And Mike, let's hear from you as well.
Hello, guys. My name is Mung, and you can call me Mike. And I'm one of the co-founders of Solve Protocol. And Solve Protocol is solely about financial NFTs. So in Solve Protocols, you can actually create a mint and exchange financial NFTs. I used to be a software developer, so composability is not a new thing to me. We use things like software component or web services or RESTful APIs for more than a decade. But I think composability is much more, it's much more, means much more in DeFi, because, take an example of Solve. In our protocol, you can enclose an arbitrary amount of tokens into a financial NFT. We call it voucher, and you can enclose those assets in a voucher, and then you can trade it. You can use it as collateral to borrow money. So in this scenarios, you can imagine that it's very crucial for us to have the right and updated and the accurate price. So if failing that, we can easily lose money, lose users' asset. So it's crucial to us. So that's where we do not want to develop a oracle ourselves. So we use Chainlink as the price oracles like other protocols. To guarantee the price, our prices are right, and also likewise we are also planning to use Chainlink keepers to automate our smart contract. But in fact, financial NFTs are just tokenized smart contracts. So yes, composabilities means money, means life to DeFi protocols. So it's much more than something we used to use in software and web.
Yeah, there's a huge impact there, and it affects more than just the basics, right? So we'll definitely talk about that. Before we get into anything else, I think it'd be also cool just to chat with each project a little bit more about specifics of what you're doing within Money Legos, how you're improving DeFi. So I'd love to start with Guillaume. I know that a big part of building Money Legos is including incentives for users and really tying in your users. How is 88MPH doing this?
That's a very good question. We at HTMPH, we see the composability and the money Lego concept as really a necessity. We can't exist without that composability. So we need it. It's like mimicking the nature where like nothing can live isolated. We need to connect things together to make things work correctly. So it's exactly the same for us, at least in the DeFi ecosystem we are evolving on Ethereum. We need each other, and the way we like to answer your questions regarding incentives, we are distributing incentive with our native token, the MPH token, on 88MPH platform. But at the same time, we are able to harvest, if I can say like that, some governance token from other protocol like Aave, Compound, the underlying protocol we are using, and we are redistributing this value harvested to our end users. So at the end of the day, we are kind of redistributing 100% of the protocol revenue to our users. And yeah, like having kind of socializing the protocol revenue, socializing the governance power into the end of our MPH orders. So that's also, a good illustration of what you can do with composability at the end. You can really create an ecosystem of value shared between the platform and the end users. And it's like that you create a great community, I suppose.
Right. You can't really have one without the other. So I think 88MPH is a great example of how that's happening. Cool. Jinyun, I know that you were talking a little bit about how oracles expand Money Legos. What assets is Superblock building on top of all this to expand the DeFi Money Lego system?
Yes, Superblock is making Crucial Finance, and Crucial Finance is a platform for betting for the Kimchi Premium. And Kimchi Premium is a special opportunity only in Korea, but those premiums on the assets will be increasing in if the DeFi is developed, if DeFi is is improving. And Oracle can bring the prices of the assets outside of the blockchain. And for example, Mirror, a DeFi project in Terra, brings the prices of stocks in America. And so anyone in the world, including China or other countries, can trade US stocks anywhere and anytime. So other DeFi projects like Synthetics means many assets, including currencies, oil prices, or other assets in other blockchains, and something else. So this feature will extend the DeFi money labels, and people can mint and trade for any of the assets in the world, and people can trade for many assets not in the real world. So this point will make and improve the money levels of the DeFis, and the Oracle is a very important part of these DeFi money levels. And Superblock also make those assets, and we think there will be many of the opportunities to make those assets, and Kimchi Premium is the first of our product.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, and you're really entering the international and metaverse stage there, so it's exciting stuff. James, let's talk a little bit about cross-chain. And I also know that Fleta is a blockchain mainnet and has launched a yield farming DeFi platform called Fleta Connect. Let's talk about that. How is it different? What's it doing?
Yep. So first, we developed our mainnet because we felt that there is a need of users and dApps that with higher performance with interoperability. So we have launched a mainnet with fast speed with 7,000 TPS. But as you mentioned, cross-chain technology, so interoperating with Ethereum or other chains became more important than it was before. So we have developed a technological gateway. So we do is convertible between Ethereum chain. Now it's with Tomo chain and Binance Smart chain and Polygon. So yeah, that's how we secure the cross chain with our gateway. So so that Ethereum dApps or other dApps can still stay in Ethereum, but can enjoy the higher performance of Fleta chain. And yeah, and we wanted to bring more traffic into our platform. So that's why we launched our own DeFi. There are a lot of anonymous projects, but we wanted to build a trust and prove that there can be roadmaps actually made in DeFi section. So we have launched on BSC. We'll be integrating on separate mainnets such as Polygon and more. And then our main goal would be bringing more users into our platform, running our own AMM DEX, and to make sure that our platform is sustainable with more users and more traffic. So yeah, we do have that roadmap, and also we'll be utilizing NFTs into our DeFi project as well. So it'll be interesting to see yield farming while you own the NFT. So interesting concept.
Yeah, I definitely want to try that out. That is a concept that I think is new and really interesting. And it kind of brings us to the NFT topic. So Mike, what are financial NFTs? You did touch on it a little bit, but I'd love to hear more about what they are and what you're doing to make things different in the space.
Sure. You know, currently the best known financial NFTs might be the Uniswap V3 LP NFT. But actually, financial NFT is much more abstract concept. To learn what it is, we first need to look very carefully what ERC 721 NFT is, and it's actually if you watch the specification, the standard code, and you can see that it's actually in a container. It's a unique container labeled by its smart contract, the address of a smart contract, and the token ID. So when you say NFT art, you are actually referring to some container which containing a artwork. So so with that in mind, I should say that what if we let's imagine what if we put financial instrument, what financial asset or amount of tokens into that container. Okay, that in that way we got financial NFTs. It's actually financial NFT can be regarded as a as encapsulation of both financial asset and a piece of code to control that financial asset. So you can actually use that piece of code to control the inflow and outflow of that asset. So in that way, we got something we call financial NFT. So as I just said, it's tokenized smart contracts. It's tokenized financial contracts. It's implementation of decentralized financial instruments. So you can see that in that way, a financial NFT itself is a building block of money Legos. It's the blocks of the Legos, right? So in that way, we believe that the financial NFTs can significantly upgrade the money Legos in DeFi, and Solve is dedicated to that vision. Solve protocol actually create a new token standard. It's ERC 721 compatible, but it's much more powerful than that. We created to support financial NFT specifically. So we support the fractionalization, the merging and splitting of NFT. So we believe that this is the right way. So the project application has been launched on Ethereum and BSC. So we urge you to try it out on our website, solve.finance. Needless to say, as I just mentioned, Chainlink plays a vital role in this new universe of money Legos. Not only the price oracles, but also keepers. Thank you.
Yeah, no, definitely. You're really chatting about how this all ties together, and this is really the value of this panel, right? Betty, also, Karura, a callless canary network, has recently launched on Mainnet. It's DeFi specialized chain on Kusama and Polkadot. How did the launch go, and what do we need to know about it?
Yeah, sure. I think probably start with our vision. At Kala, our goal is actually to democratize finance for everyone on the planet. To achieve that goal, though, we chose to actually build on top of Polkadot, which is the internet of blockchain, which is like TCP/IP, and we are the specialized or optimized blockchain for decentralized finance on that internet of blockchain. So on Akala, we serve a wide range of audience. We serve OGs, DGens, debt developers, protocols like Compound. We're building a cross-chain bridge to the multi-chain money market, but we're also collaborating with fintech and institutions such as current.com is our collaborator, so we can serve mass market through this type of collaboration. The reason I mentioned all of those background is because in order to reach that much scale and also compliance and also serve the mass market in various different industry, we need security, we need high level of compliance. So in the Polkadot world, we have this concept of a low value canary network. So this is like where Kusama's position is the canary network of Polkadot. So Polkadot currently, is top 10 in the list, and Kusama is almost top 50 as a low value canary network for Polkadot. So we can actually test all of the concepts, all of the financial incentives, economics, governance on this canary network. So we just launched our canary network, Akala's canary network called Karura. So only about 10 days ago. So on launch, we've already, through the mechanism that we secured the network with about 500,000 KSM. So that's about like 100 mil at current market cap. And then, about yesterday, so within 3 hours, we've had a TVL of like 20 plus millions been locked on the DEX and also stablecoin. So there's like, this is a tremendous growth in this new sort of environment, because I guess, for existing players, this is a new marketplace. There's new asset classes. There are, apart from Kusama and Polkadot, there are 100 other sort of parachains about to launch. So there are many asset classes there for folks to actually play around, and also new market as well. So that's how we as the DeFi center or hub, if you like, as a landing pad for other people to come and build. There's a liquidity center that we connect to other blockchains like Bitcoin, Ethereum, maybe Solana and other chains as well. We bring the liquidity together and also for dApps to build on top of it. And that's why, folks like Chainlink and others can actually really help, bootstrap helping developers to get to that next step. So that's us.
Yeah, it's a united effort, and it's really exciting. So congrats on that. And you also touched a little bit on bringing in OGs, degens. Each of us and each project here is really focused on that. Total value locked on chain has grown exponentially in the past year. Anyone can jump in and answer this, but how are you building for that? How are you handling growth? We only have a few minutes left, so if anybody has thoughts on this.
I think the best way of doing that is composability, making sure that you can be connected to other protocol and making sure you build a developer community around your ecosystem, inviting everyone to build on top of you, powering their own tech with your product under the hood, like basically acting like a middleware. And I think the best example for that is Aave, the way they build their community since the last 3 years on Hackathon and the developer community behind them. It's really what makes you grow this kind of TVL stuff.
Yeah, I just want to add on to that comment because I think we are more focused on differentiation. So I think for existing players, so folks like Aave, those leaders in the market, for them, it's easy play because they can expand to new markets. So obviously on the Polkadot world, there's new asset class, there's growing community. You can't imagine, we have folks who have never used wallet before. They come to Polkadot, come to Akala, and they learn, this new way of financial freedom. So I think through this new ecosystem, folks like, existing players like Aave can gain newcomers to the ecosystem. And I think at the same time, for the newer developers coming to the ecosystem, you need differentiation. Because there are existing players out there, how do you outcompete? So on our platform, we actually offer things like you can actually pay fees in your own token. You don't need to pay this, ETH as gas fee thing. You can customize that if you want. And we also have this, especially if you're DeFi, of course, we have this new thing with quality of service that I mentioned earlier, that if you want Chainlink as a price fee, that's guaranteed. Included in the block, and also other automations that help you to liquidate your protocol. So, it's safer, it's faster, it's more scalable. So I think whichever play you are, I think, this is an attractive place to build together. So yeah, that's us.
Awesome. Any other thoughts on that? Okay, as we close out the panel, I would just love to hear from each person, maybe a couple words on what you're excited about heading into 2022. Where is DeFi going? Jinyun, how about you?
Yeah, I think in DeFi, there are many DeFis now. They're emerging, and I think synthetic assets are the important ones in 2022 because lending or DEX or stablecoins those metas are already emerging, but synthetic assets are not emerging yet. So I think people will use those synthetic assets more, and this will make some other things in the next year.
Cool. Thank you. James, real fast.
Yeah, so I think DeFi should be into more mainstream since there will be more regulatory You know, of course, blockchain is not that major industry yet, but we're heading there. So I hope more countries will have, you know, like stable regulations regarding DeFi, so there can be more use cases from DeFi. Yeah.
Awesome, thank you. Yes, please follow our panelists on social media if you want to ask them more questions. We're all out of time, but this has been amazing talking to each of you, and I hope you each enjoyed the conference. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, Zaji, and all of our panelists for that incredible discussion. Really interesting to hear what everyone had to say.